Good morning, everybody. How are we today? It is Saturday, the 1st of November. Wow. 1st of November. I cannot believe we have gone through 11 months of the year already. It is just unbelievable that it is that close to the end of the year. I'm just getting my other screen up here so I can see comments. If you're joining me, let me know so I know that I'm in the right spot. We always love to have new commenters and people joining our little crafty group here. So let me introduce myself. My name is Beck Hall. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Melbourne in Australia. And I come live here every Saturday morning to do a little segment I call Breakfast with Beck. So you can sit back, have a coffee, have your breakfast, and chat away with me while we do some crafting together, and hopefully I inspire you. That's my goal, is to inspire you to craft over the weekend. Hey Leanne, hey Marianne, hey Linda, how you going? Hey Julie, thanks for joining me. Alright, so this morning I'm going to teach you a bit of a fancy fold. Sometimes they don't go very well on lives, but I'm going to try and teach you a fancy fold. Morning Megan, hey Sue, live again, yay, Sue's on live. Alright, so, and I'm going to use the homemade treats. So, a bit of Christmas baking. I don't do baking. This is probably the only baking that I do, especially if you don't want it to be like rocks. So this is what we're going to use this morning. So I'm just going to get started because it is a fancy fold. So I don't want to hold you too long because I want you guys to get crafting this weekend. And it is a long weekend here in Melbourne too, so I know I'll be spending a majority of my time in the studio. We were supposed to go away in the caravan, but Freddie hurt his knee, so it's that's why we're not away, pretty much. You have this one too. Woohoo, Megan! Hey Jill, how are you? Morning, Jan. Who else have we got? Renee, thanks for joining me. Alright, so I'm going to flip you down and we're going to get started. So to start off with, we need a colour. So I was either thinking we go, well, you know me, I love green. So I was thinking Mossy Meadow. But, if you want to see a different colour, let me know. I'm happy to do a different colour. That's our Mossy Meadow happening there. This is just for our card base. So I was thinking that for our card base. We are going to use some Whisper White, or Basic White, should I say, not Whisper White. We're not using 12 by 12, so we're going to put some white with it. Hey Evelyn, how you going? Warmer and sunnier in Palmerston North. Oh, I'm glad. It's actually not too bad here today. It's actually sunny, but I still feel the cold. So, I don't know. There must be something wrong with me. My feet and fingers are always cold. So, morning Judy, how are you? Alright, so, are we all happy with the green? I haven't seen any comments come through with the green yet. Because my other choice was going to be, good old real red. So, let's get a real red slice out as well. We might be able to have a bit of a combination happening. So I'm going to grab out a slice of real red too. So I think we'll just stick with those colours, good old classic Christmas colours, right? So we're going to start with a green card base. So I am going to grab my U-Butte trimmer and I'm going to cut this down to 14.9 centimetres and I'm going to score it at 10.5. So just a, classic card front, card base, nothing super special about the card base. Alright, so we're going to do that like that. Then I'm going to cut down a couple of pieces from this leftover panel here. So I need 2 pieces. I need it to be 10-ish centimetres, you like that, 10 centimetres. And I'm going to go by 6.5. So I need 2 of these panels. So we're going to go 6.5 centimetres and then 6.5 centimetres. So you should be able to get this whole card out of one sheet of A4 cardstock, right? So we're going to have those 2 panels there. This is scrap. We don't need that, so, but I'll pop that in my little bag. And then I'm going to grab this other piece here, which, pardon me, should be 11 centimeters or thereabouts. Yep, roughly 11 centimeters. Let's just trim it down because we need 11 centimeters. So literally it was like bugger all. Look at that. Bugger all of a scrap piece. So that one can go in the bin. I'm not saving that one. Hey Ruth, how are you? Oh, in Rye. Oh, and it's going to be nice weather tomorrow too, so enjoy that down on your little break. Hey Maura, how are you? Alright, so this is 11 centimeters this way, and then I need 3.5 centimeters. So I'm going to just cut this down to 3.5. And then I need another one at 3.5, but we're going to make this a little bit shorter. So this is just an off-cut piece. We need this piece, and this one here is going to be 5.5 centimeters, like that. So you'll actually get 2 from that. So, you know, you can make an extra card if you really want to. So we have 11 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters, and we have 5.5 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters. Alright, so there are our pieces that we need. Now we're going to cut down some white cardstock. So I'm just going to grab this and I'm just going to cut. I'm going to make card fronts, but we're going to stamp and make our own DSP, okay? So I'm going to go 14.4 because that's what I want my card base to be, and I'm not going to cut it yet because I want to make a card base. So I'm just going to set all of these aside for the minute. Will I use, actually, you know what, I'm just going to cut, just let me just cut down a couple of these pieces. Let me go, I'm going to go this way, 10 centimeters, just in case we want to throw in a splash of red. This is only just an in case. So I'm just going to cut another 2 of these pieces here, so these 2 panels, just to, you know, see if we want to get that little bit of red colour in our card, yeah? So we might not use these, but we may. So we're just going to set them aside. Alright, so now we're going to get in and we're going to do some stamping. So we're going to get our homemade treats out, and we're going to get a block. And I think I'm going to go the little gingerbread man, like so. And then these little, this looks like sprinkles, I reckon, like Christmas coloured sprinkles. See that there? I reckon that looks like sprinkles. So I'm just going to pop that one on there like that. Like so. And then I'm going to use the hat and the candy cane. So I'm just popping these on the same blocks here. Like that. Just pop them aside. And then I might use, will I use the rolling pin or the mitten? I might use the rolling pin actually, because that's sort of like a bigger image. So let's grab that one there. We'll use that one. Alright. Hello everybody, how are we? Hey Kaza, hey Sabrina, hey Jules, how are you? Thanks for joining me. So I'm just making some background DSP here, and I'm just going to go that way. And then we need some inks. So I was going to do the gingerbread ink in maybe some pecan pie. This one here, I'm obviously going to choose real red because it's like a Santa hat and the candy cane. And then the rolling pin. What colour will I do the rolling pin? Maybe if I do it in crumb cake? Do I want to do real life colours, or do I want to maybe bring our Mossy Meadow in and do the rolling pin in Mossy Meadow? Let's see how we go. Actually, you know what I might do? Let's take this one off, put that one on there, put the gingerbread on there. We'll do the gingerbread, we'll do that, we'll do the rolling pin, and we'll do that in the green. How does that sound? Does that looks alright, doesn't it? Alright, so we're going to start off with our biggest image first, which in this case would be either the rolling pin or the real red, because we're going to stamp those 2 together. Just, you know, it makes it a little bit quicker when you're stamping it all together. So I'm going to start with this one, and we're going to just stamp this randomly on our page here. No rhyme or reason. I'm going to turn my stamp round so we're getting a... And I'm stamping off the edges too. You don't want to stamp like, you know, not off the edges, because if this was a piece of designer series paper, we would have cut that down. Alright, and then I'm going to get my rolling pin and we're just going to stamp him down a couple of times. Like that. There. Like that. And I've got to do one more because there's only 6 there. You guys know me for my oddness. I got to have odd numbers. So I'm just opening up my chamois just to chuck these onto my chamois so I can give them a bit of a clean. Alright, and then I'm going to use the pecan pie. Actually, I might just close these up because you know what? I'm going to end up putting my fingers in those. It's just not a good done thing when we do that. And then we're going to go the little gingerbread man because, you know, he's nice and cooked. I'm going to spin him round. There. There. Cut him off here. Cut his head off there. Do that there. I don't know how many times I've stamped this. Can anyone tell me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, one more. We'll go there. 11. Alright, 11. Woohoo! That's an awesome number. 11 is the amount of new team members I just had join my team. So how amazing is that? They took up the special offer of join offer for $60 where you get $235 worth of product. But that finished yesterday. So it's you know, great to have new members on the team. Alright, so we're going to use the Mossy Meadow and we're just going to stamp these bits of green in here. It's just, if you got this Christmas card, don't tell me this wouldn't make you happy, hey? Like lots of little Christmas colours and whatnot. I'm not counting this either, by the way. So if somebody's counting, let me know. I know Ruth will be counting. Alright, so we're just dotting these all around. So we've just made some DSP. Oh, that I just saw a big gap there when I look up at the screen, and there's a bit of a gap there, and there's a bit of a gap there. So we're just filling in the gaps now. Actually, it's quite handy looking up at the screen because I get to see where all the gaps are. Alright, so there we go. So we've created our designer series paper. Now we're going to chop this down. So let me just wipe down my mat first. Don't want to get that everywhere. Alright. So now we're going to chop this in half. Well, not quite in half. We're going to go 10 centimetres because remember this was just half an A4 sheet. And we're going to go another 10, which is going to give us a little strip which we can use on our envelope or whatever. It doesn't really matter where we use that, but we can use it on our envelope. Alright, so now we're going to attach these to our card front. We're going to go like that there, and this one is going to go in here like that. So let's attach those. Grab some glue. Oh, open it up like so. So what's everybody's plan? So in Melbourne, like I said, it's a long weekend this weekend. Well, it kind of is and it kind of isn't. We have the Tuesday off for Melbourne Cup Day, which is probably famous all around the world. So it's a big horse race that we have here in Melbourne. And a lot of people take the Monday off as and make it a long weekend. So I have actually taken the Monday off. As I said, because we were going to go away, but I'm actually going to use it to pack my suitcase to go to backstage the following week. So I'm actually going to use the time wisely to pack my suitcase. So what are your top packing tips that you would take overseas with you? If you've been traveling recently, what was the thing that you go, damn it, I should have taken that with me? What is the top thing that you would travel with? Alright, so now I'm just going to cut down another card insert. So I'm going to go 10 centimetres by 14.4 here, like that. And I'm going to leave that one blank because that's going to be the one we're going to write on. Okay, so that is now going to go on this other side here, like so. And this is going to be our writing panel. Now normally we would probably stamp on this, but We're not going to do that today, and there's a reason why. I'll show you, because we've got all of this busyness happening here. Okay. All right. So now we need to stamp and get something happening. So we're going to cover this here, and we're going to make another patch here. So this is where I said we could bring in travel socks. Yes, I've got my travel socks, Megan. This is where I said we could bring in the green, or we could go the red. Which one do you think you'd like? Green or the red on the inside there? And I'm just going to cut down a little mat here for this one here. So roll your clothes and plan outfits. Include shoes so everything interlinks. Oh, well, that's a good idea. Rolling your clothes. Okay, that is a good idea. So I'm just going to trim this down to 6 centimeters by 9.5, and obviously I want 2 of them. So we're going to go, what have we got here? Oh, we've got 9.5 there, so we'll go 6 centimeters this way, like that. So there we go. The red, you reckon? How many days till Fiona and I go to the USA? Well, we leave this time next week. So Saturday next week we go, so 7 days. How exciting. I'm so looking forward to seeing Fee again, picking her up in Auckland on the way. Alright, so we're going to use the red. Everybody's decided on the red. Limit your shoes. Yeah, I tend to do that, Judy. I take sandals, runners, and I wear a pair of shoes on the plane, and that's about it. Although, we are having a Western night, so I have ordered some Western cowboy boots. So they may take up a little bit more room than I'm actually thinking. So, we'll see. Someone needed duct tape and zip ties to fix broken suitcase. And someone had it just that. Oh, wow. Duct tape and zip ties. Although zip ties wouldn't take up very much room. That's probably not a bad idea. Alright, so we're going to use the red. So we're going to mat this up with the red here, like that. So we don't need these panels. They're just extras. Now I'm going to stamp on these, and we're going to grab our other stamp. So we're going to grab the corking, I don't know what that is. Is that a corking bag? A piping bag. A corking bag. I think I'm on the job site. And the little oven mitt. And then we want to grab the 'Tis the Season for Baking, I think. And then we will stamp our oven mitt in red. How's this? Put your boots in your carry-on luggage. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Although I've got 2 suitcases. So that's probably not a bad thing, because I've got some stuff to take overseas with me. So... Alright, actually, I'm going to stamp the sentiment first. I'm going to stamp that in pecan pie. So let's just stamp that down there. So I'm going to stamp this one here up the top. 'Tis the season for baking. Like that. And then we're going to go the little oven mitt here in that colour. And then the piping bag I was going to do in the green. So, alright, let's go. Piping bag in the green. Rubbish bags. Yep, I've actually got a really cool bag for all of my dirty clothes that Stampin' Up actually gave us at an onstage one year, and it folds into like a little, it only ends up being like this big by about that big, but it's perfect because it's like waterproof, and it is just the perfect size to go for all the dirty clothes. So we know that blue and white striped bag from onstage one year is our dirty clothes bag. So it's pretty cool that the stuff we get from Stampin' Up come in handy, see? Alright, so I'm just going to glue this on here like that. And that is going to go on the front of my card here, like this one here. And then on this one here, I'm actually just going to glue the edges. So I'm going to glue this edge here, and this edge here, like so. And then I'm going to grab just a small hole punch, so just an inch hole punch or whatever, just enough to get a, actually you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use this one here because I like the shape that this one gives me. Alright, I should have done that before I put the glue on it. That would have been smarter, Beck. Alright, so I'm just going to pop this here and we're going to punch that there. So I'm making it for a gift card. We're going to pop a gift card in this panel here when we're putting it together. Alright, so this is going to go. I wiped off the bit of glue that was there. I'm actually not taking any swaps this time, Julie. I'm taking gifts for my American friends. I'm actually not doing swaps this year. I have, with working full time, and doing classes every week, I've literally just run out of time to do swaps. So I just said to myself, Beck, no swaps this year. It's as much as I'm going to miss swapping, I'm actually not going to do it this year. So sad, I know, but I'll be able to see everyone else's beautiful swaps. I'm sure they'll share. So, all right, so I'm just going to stick this on the front here with some dimensionals, like so. And we're going to stick one in the middle because nobody wants the saggy middle, like this. Now you're probably going to yourself, Beck, how is this even a fancy fold? It will be, you watch. Alright, so I'm just going to pop this down on this bottom corner here, like so. And then we're going to open that up. Now, I want to use some of these dies that comes with it. So I'm going to use this tray, and I'm going to get a little bit of silver from my specialty foil paper. Get a little bit of silver foil. So let me just grab a piece of that out. And I'm going to cut like a cookie tray. I'm not taking Vegemite. I think more, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I've got any of my American friends on here, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of them have probably tasted Vegemite. So I'm actually taking all of my favourite snacks that I like to snack on, because like I'm always banging on about my lollies and things like that. So yeah, I'm going to take some lollies with me. So I've just die cut, I should have brought my die cutting machine in. I've just die cut my little tray here, like that, see? So I'm just going to add my little tray on here, like so. And then I'm going to grab my little gingerbread man, and on this little scrappy piece of paper here, I'm going to stamp a couple more gingerbreads. So I'm going to go 1, 2 gingerbreads. Will I do 2? No, I'm going to do 3. 3 gingerbreads. And I'm going to do that big piping bag again. Or did we do it on the front? We did it in green on the front. So let's do green again. And the little piping bag. I think my mossy meadow needs to be re-inked. That's what I think. Alright, and then we're going to die cut those out. Now the beauty about the dies that come with this is there's actually 2 dies for just about everything except for the bigger items. So there's 2 dies for the gingerbreads, there's 2 dies for the candy canes, there's 2 dies for the Christmas hats. So it won't take very long to die cut this one out. And then once we've die cut that, then we're going to work on our mechanism for folding. So let me just die cut these out off to the side here. Talk amongst yourself, get your elevator music happening. And I will run these through in a jiff. Of course using my left arm, so I get all of those steps up for today to make compensation for when I'm sitting here all day crafting. Does anybody else do that? Use their Fitbit arm or their Apple Watch arm. Look at that, don't they look super cute? To run through their die cutting machine. Or is it just me? Just me maybe? Alright. Piping bag and my other little gingerbread's just a tad close to my piping bag, so I can't run those through at the same time, but that's alright. Alright, so we've got the little piping bag here, and then we need 1 more gingerbread. Pop those there, because, you know, 3 cookies are better than 2, isn't it? And I just think this little gingerbread man, he's super sweet. And he goes really well with our big gingerbread man. The big stamp set that we've got. So you could combine the two. And there's so many like gingerbreads out at the moment, obviously, because it's Christmas time and all the Christmas decorations are out. You could make really fancy gifts for loved ones with the, you know, and have all of these beautiful decorations on it. Alright, so I'm just going to pop some dimensionals on the back of these little guys. And we're just going to pop him onto the tray, like so. So there's a lot of stuff that we're doing, but once we've done all of this, it'll come together super quick. But like I said, it is a fancy fold. Okay. Oh, look, and they've even got little hearts on their bellies. Look, how cool is that? Alright, so we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm going to pop that on there like that. So I'm just going to glue that down, and I might just pop my piping bag under there like that. I think that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to glue that down. Alright, so we'll just put a bit of glue on the back of that, and we'll stick him under there like that, and then we'll glue that down like so. Now you could put a gift card in here, you know, a Starbucks gift card, or any type of gift card really. Cheesecake voucher gift card, you know, cheesecake shop, any gift card really. And then I was going to put one of these little guys here that I prepared earlier. We did this on Wednesday night. So this was what we did on Wednesday night. So if you haven't seen these guys, these are the ephemera packs. Now they're out of stock at the moment, but they will be coming back. And basically all we've done is we've coloured in the backing of them with some markers. So I did that on Wing It Wednesday. Just grabbing your Stampin' Write markers and colouring in the background, and then the colour actually rubs off the gold foiling section. So I'm going to put From Our Home to Yours, because remember on the front we've got tis the season for baking, and you know you're giving it as a gift, so it's From Our Home to Yours. So I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to sticker that down like so, and then we'll get onto the mechanism. Oops. To make it a fancy fold. How are we going for time? Nearly there. Alright, so I'm just going to go From Our Home to Yours. So that's done, and our little gift card can sit into that little panel there. The name of the stamp set, Maura, this is the stamp set. It's called Homemade Treats, and it comes with the matching dies. So Homemade Treats. It's 166013 if you're looking for the code number. And the bundle's $79, so you know, it's not a bad deal. Alright, so now we've done that. Now let's do our mechanism. So we're going to grab our little piece on the long side here, and we're going to score it at 1.5 centimeters. Now whenever I do my scoring, anything under 3.5 centimeters, I always score this way first, and then I flip it around, only because I rather have a straight score line than a crooked one. Okay, so I'm just going to score it at 1.5 centimeters here, like so. So if I flip that around now, it's like I've scored it at 1.5 centimeters. Right, so there's 1.5 centimeters. Then I'm going to go to 5 centimeters and score that, and then I'm going to go to 9.5 centimeters and score that there. Okay, so that's our one panel done. Now this one here, I'm going to score this one at 1.5 centimeters, and then I'm going to flip it. So 1.5, and I'm going to flip it because I can't score that way, and then I'm going to score it at 4.5. So 1.5 and 4.5. So 1.5 centimeters, 4.5 centimeters. And then this one here was 1.5, 5 centimeters, and 9.5 centimeters. So, good morning, Grace. How are you? Thanks for joining. Alright, so now we're going to pop this one into our card base here. So we've got, I don't know if you can see here, but we've got a small fold, another small fold, and then it's quite a large fold, and then a big fold. So see how it's different sizes here? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that this big panel here is at the bottom of our card. Alright, I work in inches, so I need to go off and convert. Sorry, Leanne. I could probably convert it into inches, but it would take me a bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some glue on this bottom panel here. So the little bottom, that's my bottom one here, and then this is the bigger fold section. And I'm going to lay that down here and lay it flat like so. And I want to make sure, so this is sort of centered in the card, and I just want to make sure that I can fold my card here. So I have the biggest panel here, smallest panel here. Alright, just want to make sure that that's nice and straight. So it's going to fold back on this side here for me like so. Okay. Now I'm going to grab this little panel here, so that's that, we've done that section. Let me just get rid of that and put that. And I'm going to grab my small punch. Now if you don't have this little punch, I recommend you jump on and you get it. It comes, there's two different punches, or it comes as a set of 3. So the 3 that you get are, you get a 1/8 inch hole punch, you get like a little tab punch, and then you get this slip punch as well. These little punches might seem a bit useless, but it's good to have them in your arsenal because, you know, they become quite handy. This one, for example, will cut all the little berries from your designer series paper, the Traditions of Christmas paper. That will cut all the little berries from it. So, you know, as I said, they're handy to have. So we're going to use this little punch. Now, if you don't have a punch, you could just do what we're going to do with a knife, and you could make a slit into your card, but it's easier with this punch, obviously. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop these punches all the way in, and I'm starting with, once again, I've got my small fold here, and then this is like a bigger flap. So there's a small flap and a bigger flap, right? So I'm going to go from the small flap here, put my punch in as far as I can, and I'm going to line up that small score line, and I'm going to punch. And I'm going to continue that all the way along. Like I said, you could do this with a blade if you didn't have the punch, all the way along until I get to the very end, and it gives me then 2 little legs. Alright, so it's like I've got a little leg and some little feet. See this? And then this is, ooh, and then this is my body up here. Alright, so this is my body and these are my little legs. Alright, now this is the tricky bit, so you've got to pay attention. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach one of my legs to the small fold here, like this. So the good thing about this is I'll put this up, this will go up on YouTube, and then you'll be able to just replay it over and over again so that you can get where I'm gluing these pieces. So I'm going to glue a bit of glue on this little foot here, and I'm going to glue this one down onto this here like so, like that. Oh, you know what, I'm round the wrong way, sorry, scratch that, that's got to go on the other side, it's got to go this way. I nearly buggered it up, didn't I? Goodness me, I've made 4 of these cards already, and you'd think that I'd have it down pat by now, wouldn't you? Alright, so glue on this side, round this way, I'm going to glue it here like that. Alright, and then I'm going to put glue on this little foot here, and I'm going to bend that backwards, and it's going to go on the opposite side of my fold here like so. So now I've got like a split leg happening. Alright, so let me pull that up and show you a bit closer. So I have, oh, let me go. It's going to be a bit hard to see with the green. I'll take some photos of it actually. There we go. So I have one on that flappy bit there of the legs. Can you see that? The light's not very good. One on that flap and then one on this one, so underneath that flap. So it folds back. See that? it'll fold back on itself, but it's not attached to this one here. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's it'll look really good when it's done, trust me. Alright, so we've got one there and one here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to fold it back there like that and lay that flat. Okay, so we've folded it back here and laid this part here flat and that flat like that. Alright, so now we've got just the bigger panel here and we've got our smaller panel here. Alright, please let me know if I'm making sense. I don't want to confuse people. Although, you know, probably easy to do. And then I'm going to pop a bit of glue on here like so on this little flap. So that was our really tiny flap that we had there. So I popped a bit of glue on that little flap, and with this all sitting flat like that, now I'm just going to shut the front door. Okay, so I'm shutting the front door there like that, and then if my glue's stuck, it opens up like so. Alright, so now I've got a little, like a bit of a mountain with a thing all in there. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad, Glennis. I don't want to confuse people, but I just thought a video might be helpful. Alright, so now that's on there. So now when I shut my card, it folds flat. Okay, and I go like that and it opens up. So then what I'm going to do is just grab my glue, put my glue on here, on this top panel here. So if you make this card and you don't have this like little table or platform here, it's like not going to fold right. Okay, so you need that little bit of a platform there. And then I'm going to pop this one here flush with the end of that little platform. So let me pick that up again. It's a bit hard to see at the distance. Just flush with the end of that platform there like so. Okay, so now when I open my card, my little gift card is going to pop out. I'll just wait for that to go off a little bit. It's going to fold in like so, like that. Let's push it nice and shut, and then when we open it, our little gift card pops out. He's not quite dry yet. He needs to dry. But how cute is that? Look, and it pops up and it makes you a little gift card here, but my glue's not dry. You could use tear and tape, that would go good. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, that's why I thought I'll do a video on it, Evelyn, because it's a bit tricky, and like that'll sit up nice there and then it'll pop back in once you close it, but I'll just wait for my glue to go off a little bit there. So I hope that makes sense. As I said, you can go back and forth and watch the video and pause it and play it and whatnot and listen for directions and whatnot. But yeah, really, really cute pop-up card, and your gift card will slide in there. And once that dries, I don't know why it's taking so long, probably because it's cold. And then you can just pop it and it'll fold back into itself like so. So let me grab some gems while that is, see, my glue's not going off. It's not drying properly. Don't know why. Let me grab some little gems. Now I just got these gems and I think that they're going to be amazing. So let's just see. They're the loose gold sequins, and let's try not to get them everywhere back. That would be a good thing, wouldn't it? Alright, so I'm going to pop some of them on the front here, like so, just to give it a bit of glue there, bit of glue there, and a bit of glue there, I think. And then I'll grab my little picky tool here, and we'll pick up one of these, like so. Pick up one of those. Oh, it's around the wrong way. Like so. Ah, now it's sticking to my finger because I had it round the wrong way. And then see if I can pick up another smaller one. Oh my goodness, I've picked up like 500 of them. And we'll go down there like that. Oh, now it doesn't want to leave my picky tool. Where's my snips? Typical, huh? There we go. I figure I got lots of gems there then if we're using them like that. So there we go. And that gives us just a bit of bling on the front. So there we go, see? And a little pop out bit. He's still not quite dry. It is cold in the studio here today. But there we go. And then you got all your writing panel here that you can write on and say, you know, whether you write an essay or not, or you could do another sentiment and, you know, stamp another sentiment in there, but that's totally up to you. So there you go. So this was a card that I taught on during my class during the week. So if you've never been to one of my classes, we do fancy folds in class, and they're quite, you know, well, that's it. There we go. So let me show you the one we did in class, which we used the North Pole Delivery Suite. So this is the one we did in class, and it opens up like that. And it doesn't have a gift card in it. It's just a sentiment up the top and it flicks up. So this one goes this way, and this one goes this way, and the mechanism works. Doesn't matter whether you're doing it side on or front, you know, vertical, horizontal, it doesn't matter. It's just beautiful. I just love it. It as I said, once you do one or two, it gets easier, but you wrap your head around it. Thanks for the reminder, Maura. I will quickly do my envelope now. So I don't want to keep you much longer, but while I've got everything out, it kind of makes sense to do that, doesn't it? All right, let's grab the little gingerbread man here. I'll go, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to grab the red and do the candy cane. That'll go candy cane, gingerbread, candy cane, gingerbread. And you know what? Because I think he's super cute, I'm going to just do him in here too. With a little candy cane with him as well. Like that. There we go. And you might need to just give it a little bit of a, you know, tuck in, but it should fold beautifully. So there we go, ladies. I hope you, or gentlemen, ladies, I hope you enjoy that, and you know, it inspires you to get creative this weekend and hopefully come out with the same result. There we go. So I'm glad that went a bit smoother than I thought it might have. As I said, I can make a card heaps of times, and some of them I have no problem with, but that fold, trying to get those little legs around the right way is, yeah. Thank you for sharing. I love it. George, don't let Fee lead me astray, yeah. I think we're both as bad as one another, so. Alright, well, I'm going to leave you guys. I will see you Wednesday night for Wing It Wednesday. I won't be here next Saturday for Breakfast with Beck. I will pop in, obviously, and share our antics while we are away. But there is a good old saying that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas too. So I think Fee and I together could be get ourselves in a little bit of trouble. No, we won't get ourselves in trouble. We'll be good girls. Alright, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. If this inspires you to get crafty, please, if you're not part of our Craft with Beck group, jump on over where, you know, anybody can join. You just got to answer a few simple questions just to keep us all safe in the group, and you can share your creations over in the Craft with Beck group. I'd love to see what you create. Alright, have a good weekend, and I will see you all on Wing It Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Alright, bye for now.